What's going on,
What's
everybody?
up? How you
This
doing, man?
is JSNB Talk. I'm good. How are
Good?
you?
I'm good.
We got JSNB Talk here, but lately it's been a little bit of SB Talk. Am I right?
The Baldo and Stew show.
The
Or
Stew and
Stew and
Baldo and the
Baldo
Baldo
show.
or Stew Show.
Yeah, something
S
like that.
SB Talk.
But glad it does not the other way around.
BS Talk.
That's true.
Sometimes, sometimes maybe.
Dude,
Um,
I watched our last night again
okay.
on I had it on TV and I'm like, "Oh my goodness. I can't believe that we even did that."
That was great. It was a great week. And this week
Yeah.
is fixing to be greater than last week.
Yeah, why is that?
And we'll dive into that in a little bit. We got to wait until about 8:30 till a couple of our viewers are able to jump on.
Oh my
Um,
goodness.
but there's if you're here, you definitely want to stick around till about 8:30. I promise. Big things
Yeah,
happening at
something like
8:30
that. So
for
is
sure.
Mr. Scheffler playing this week, or is he on
He
baby duty?
he is on baby watch. Baby is not here
Okay.
yet, but he is this weekend. I didn't even realize this tournament this weekend is like they're playing like doubles or something. Um,
Oh, like
I saw,
team golf.
yeah, it's like Rory and Shane McElroy are paired together, and
Is it
they
father son?
no, no, it's I don't know how they decide the teams honestly.
Yeah.
To me, it seems a little like Rory and Shane, both from Ireland. Colin
Oh, so
Morikawa and Kurt Kitayama, like they're both guys, like they're both Asian guys, so like they're paired together. Like I don't know what they're doing, but it's I don't know if they're playing best ball or stroke play or whatever, but it's
hey,
pairings this weekend.
hey, Stu. Mare just said that she can't hear either one of us.
She can't hear either one of us. That's a problem, isn't it?
Might be.
Does she have us muted?
Mare, do you have us muted?
Because I did verify that all of the sound was accurate. Is her volume up? Is there anybody else here watching?
Well, there's two people, according to the
Watching.
Facebook. There's two people in live, so I must be just you and me.
So I just unmuted the video and I can hear both of us.
Okay. All right.
So Mare, come on, turn that volume up.
Ay, ay, ay.
Oh Mare.
He's the female Jared.
I wasn't gonna say it. Now you're kicked to the couch tonight.
Oh my.
Yeah, so
What?
I'm not sure what the tournament. It's the Zurich something or other this week.
Well,
So I'm
I
not
was
entirely sure
wondering.
what it is, but
Do they have uh, like I know Tiger played with what's his kid's name?
Charlie.
Yeah, he played with Charlie before, so I don't know if is that this tournament?
That is not this one. I
Okay.
feel like Charlie. That one is
Yeah, he played with.
early in the year. They might have already done
Okay.
that one if I remember right.
Yeah, then
Um,
I am clueless.
that one's always a fun one because it's like Charlie and Tiger, and then like Justin Thomas plays with his dad. His dad's pretty good. You got John Daly and his son, and I'm gonna tell you right now, the future of golf, Baldo. We're gonna be watching Charlie Woods and Little John Daly. The two of them are gonna be duking it out here in a couple years.
You
They're both
think
gonna.
so?
Oh my lord, bro, they're both so good. That's gonna be
Really?
fun to watch for a while. Yeah.
Are they as good as their parents?
I think it's too early to tell, but
Yeah.
they
I
they
don't
d-
know though,
they
dude. I mean, when you look at it from the perspective of like Tiger, and I don't know about Daly. Daly, I don't remember hearing about Daly until he got on the tour.
yeah.
So,
No,
but
they're
with Tiger, man, you were hearing about Tiger when he was like 10.
yeah. Well,
You know?
and his son is I think 13 or 14 or something like that. So, um, but yeah, I mean a lot of people really high on Charlie, and
Wow.
I think it's John Daly Jr. They call him Little John. Um, but
Hopefully
yeah,
he doesn't
it's
wear
gonna be
the
it's gonna be fun
the
to
funky
watch.
pants and
Oh, I hope he
smoke
does. I hope he does, and I
smoke the cigarettes on
smoke
the
cigarettes and
tee.
drink Diet Coke.
He's the one
Oh
that
man.
needs to be on a live tour.
Yeah, I might be okay with that. Yeah, because that's where golfers' careers really go to die. So,
Oh, come on now, man. You got to be kidding me, dude.
well, man, you can't sit here and argue,
Dude, I'm telling you,
against the
it's
PGA
just,
Tour because
but it's the same in every sport, man.
there's
It's the
one
same in every sport.
there's one guy from the PGA Tour, and he has just got the backpack on, and he's like, Liv can't handle me. Not even the PGA Tour. Liv can't handle one guy. He's on another planet. He's all by himself.
Who are we
So,
talking about?
oh, we're talking about my guy Scotty Scheffler, who in his last 5 appearances on the PGA Tour went first, first, second, first, first,
Yeah,
and all of
yeah,
those firsts were in stacked field. This is a crazy thing, right? The one he didn't win was probably the worst field
really?
that he played in. So the ones that
Wow.
he won the Arnold Palmer, which all the top dogs they all play in that one.
I love
Uh,
Arnold Palmer's.
yeah, oh yeah, Arnold Palmers are great. But then he won the Players,
Okay,
and then he won the Masters, and the Players is the most major that's not a major,
right,
right? The closest
right.
to a major that you can get without being a major. So he won the Players, then he won the Masters, and now he won. What was the one he just won? The
RBC?
RBC Heritage, and that's a big one too. Stacked field.
Yeah,
He's out there beating everybody, and it's not even close. The one
yeah.
stat. Um, so check this out. This is and again, I'm not. This isn't even just because it's Scotty Chef. I'm a big stats guy. I like numbers, and I love like reading things like this and comparing. Um, so actually, two things Scotty Chef related. Let me find the one. Come on. Okay, here's one. So in his last 5 starts, 4 wins, 1 runner-up, he has a scoring average of 67.6. So roughly
Wow,
like 5 under par every round he's playing.
wow.
His score to par in his last 5 starts. Ready for this? So in five tournaments, 4 rounds per tournament, so 20 rounds. His score under par -76, bro.
Wow.
-76. That's so
That's
crazy.
that's crazy. So what did he end up this week? Was it
19.
like? Oh, was it 19?
19.
Wow,
Yeah.
wow.
So here's the other one.
Where?
If a PGA Tour golfer played in the last 5 events Scotty Scheffler has played, made the cut at each, and played them all to the field average, he would be at -1 total for those events.
Wow,
In that same span, Scotty Scheffler is -76. So he's beat
wow.
the
That's
average
crazy.
PGA Tour golfer by 75 strokes.
Wow,
That's
that's crazy, man.
so crazy. And
That
again,
is
that's not
crazy.
even just because it's Scotty Chef. Like that number, I mean, we're not talking -1 to -20. We're talking -1 to
Yeah,
-76.
that's crazy.
The guy has
That is
not shot a
crazy.
round over par in like 30 some rounds. He's probably getting close to 40 at this point.
That is crazy, dude.
The
So,
consistency that he's playing with, we haven't seen really since probably Tiger, to be honest.
yeah, yeah, because it's that. I mean, Tiger just, I mean, right now, it'll be interesting to see how long he maintains this pace.
Yeah,
Because nobody has really done it. Nobody did it before Tiger, and nobody's done it since Tiger.
yeah.
I mean, it'll be interesting to see if he can maintain it.
What's
So where'd my guy finish? Where'd Rory finish? Do you know?
Oh, dude, Rory. He finished like -8, so he was like 11
Okay.
back
Wow.
from Scotty
Wow.
Chef. Let me see the leaderboard here. If anybody's in here and can comment, let us know if you can hear us. I'm pretty sure you can. I mean, I can hear it on my end, but I don't want to keep doing this if nobody else we can try to get it fixed. Um, RBC Heritage 2024. Um, Rory. Where did you finish, Rory? Oh, I'm sorry, -7. So he was 12 back from the leader.
Wow. Where did that place him? Like, I mean, 12 back? 12.
He
Wow.
was tied 33rd. Yeah. So the crazy
Wow.
thing about this is too, like Scotty's worst round was probably his first round where he shot 2 under. He was five
Yeah,
back off the lead, and he still came back and won the tournament by like 3 or 4 strokes.
that's crazy.
Like so golf. We've talked about this. Golf is a very mental game, right? If you have a bad
Yep.
hole or a bad
Yep.
2 holes, you might as well just quit, right? You're
Right.
done.
Right.
And Scotty just the way he carries himself, the way he plays, it's literally like that's not even a thing. Like he doesn't even think about it. He just goes out and he executes every
Yeah.
shot,
Yeah.
and like
That's what you
very
have.
rarely does he hit a bad one.
I feel like when you're on the PGA. Now, obviously, I don't have any firsthand experience, but when you're on the PGA, I feel like that's what you have to do. You have to have confidence in your game. If you don't
Yeah.
have confidence in your game, you might as well not play. You
Yep.
know, and so I think that that's the thing that right now he's just crazy, crazy, crazy.
Yeah,
So
the so it's funny because you do see other golfers. Like they'll go out like Jordan Spieth, right? He's one of my favorites, but there's times where if he's playing a bad round or two
yeah,
or have a bad holes, you can see it. Like it gets to him. He
yeah,
gets angry, he gets ticked off, he gets frustrated, and it doesn't get better from there, right?
yeah,
When you're
that's
playing
right.
golf and you get like that,
Yeah.
you're not going to play
Oh yeah.
better. It
Yeah.
gets
Well, I
worse.
mean, I mean, as a guy who, my goal, I don't play enough to be consistent or good at it,
Yeah.
but as a guy who goes out once in a while, my goal is to break 100. So, I mean, and if I get to that point, like if I'm on the front nine and I've shot a 54, I'm like, why even continue?
Yeah. Yeah, I hear that.
So, are you playing in the Vitro league?
Yeah, so Vitro has a golf league up at Cumberland Golf Club in Carlisle. Thursday nights we do 9 holes. Um, and
Is it
so
is it team or is it individual?
individual.
Is it?
Yep.
Does
Yep.
Jared play?
So he plays a couple of nights. He doesn't because of his schedule and the amount of overtime he works. He's not able to get out. So,
What a loser.
yeah, what a loser. If he's here, Jared, you're a loser. Um, so last year they break the league up into 3 flights based on your handicap. So last year I was in the first flight and won it. Hey, champion,
Really?
hey. Um,
What'd you get for winning it?
like $40. I won like $40. Yeah.
Come
Um,
on, man. Are
but
you
it's
serious? They didn't give you a trophy?
no, I didn't get a trophy.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I should get a trophy.
You should, man.
Um, I think the year before that I finished in second in the first flight. So, went out
Wow.
tonight. We played the front nine at Cumberland. I shot a 43, I think it was 43. So it was
Nice.
like six
Nice.
over or 7 over, something like that. Um, good solid round. First couple holes put myself in some bad spots off the tee, just
Yeah.
under some trees or whatever, and had to punch out and whatnot. So not ideal,
So
but played
so
a good round.
you finished second last year. Who'd you finish second to?
2 years ago I finished second. And
Okay.
honestly, I couldn't tell you. I don't remember. Do not
Really?
remember.
Did
Yeah.
did did you ever play with Baxter when he was there?
No. So his last week at Vitro was my first
Yeah.
week at Vitro.
Okay. All right.
Yep.
Because he's a good golfer.
Yeah,
He's really
that's what I
good.
heard.
So
Kyle, I see your comment. Draft night. So recap real quick. 2 picks are in. Quarterback Caleb Williams went number 1 to the Chicago Bears, and the Washington Commanders just put their second pick in. Jaden Daniels, quarterback LSU,
oh my.
number 2.
Wow. Wow.
So quarterbacks are gonna go, man. They're
Yeah.
gonna go.
They'll be.
There could be 5 or 6 in the first round. To be honest with you, it's gonna be crazy.
I was hearing that there could be as many as 7 in the first round.
That's wild. I hope
That is
Denver gets
crazy.
one of them. I'm hoping for Michael Penix Jr. We'll see what happens, but
Dude, what do you? Come on, man. What do you need? You got Zach Wilson, dude. What do you need?
yeah,
What do you need? Huh? What do you need a quarterback for?
yeah. Well, I mean, I could compete with Zach Wilson to be the starting quarterback for the Denver Broncos. So,
Wow. Okay. All right.
Grammy, Nick is doing some baby stuff. He said he had some baby stuff come up, so it's just a Stu and Baldo show tonight.
Yep. And Grammy, you didn't miss anything yet.
It's coming up
So
here in just a couple of minutes. So that's Kyle. That's why we were talking about golf because it's an interesting segue into our next segment, which is Brian eats gross things. So you guys heard
Yippee!
it here. You heard it here live last week. I don't know what Brian has against great golfers,
I don't, dude.
particularly
I don't,
those with the
dude.
name Scotty
I'm telling
Scheffler
you
and
right
those
now,
that play on the PGA Tour.
there is nothing. So I picked a PGA player last week, man.
Well, yeah,
I
because
picked.
yeah, you had to because
Well,
those
hey.
sellouts aren't allowed to play in PGA Tour sanctioned
So,
events.
so I have nothing against Scotty Scheffler. I have nothing. I've not said a bad word about him, have I?
Well, I don't think you did, but you know,
Okay.
you're betting against him
Well,
says
that is
enough.
true. I mean, how else you gonna make money if you don't bet against somebody?
Well, we didn't even bet money. We bet that I had to eat a ho ho or a Twinkie or whatever it is wrapped in
Oh,
American
just,
cheese.
dude, I'm telling you, man. You
And
just, yeah, that's,
I wish
I'm,
there was a way for me to bet on Scotty Scheffler this week and he's not even playing. He'll still find a way to win. I
okay.
don't know.
How about this? Boy or girl?
Ooh. Um, you know what? Scotty seems like a girl dad. Scotty
Oh,
seems like a
great.
girl dad. Yeah. You know, I was gonna say this earlier. I'm interested to see. So 5 straight starts, 4 wins, 1 second place in 5 starts.
Yep, yep.
Now, if he takes some weeks off, like, is that gonna kill any momentum
The
he has? Is
momentum.
that gonna kill
Yeah.
any energy? Or again, because he seems like a he's not phased by any of this, right? So will he be able to just come back and jump right in, pick up where he left off, kind of thing? It'll be interesting to see.
Can you hear it now? Oh, you gave up. Okay, Mayor gave up.
Mayor
I
gave
have
up.
no idea.
Mayor,
Yeah.
mayor.
Um, it's interesting, Aaron, because you look at it from perspective of saying, you know, he could still have the mentality. The like right now he's obviously locked in.
Yeah,
But you wonder if that's going to affect him physically.
yeah,
You know, I mean that when you're on a roll like that, in order to maintain it, a lot of times you need to continue to play. So I
yeah.
wonder how long do we know how long he's taken off?
I mean, I think it's just going to be a couple of weeks. You
Really?
know, and it's interesting, right? So, I mean, you're a parent. I'm a parent. You know, it's been little bit longer. You know, since you've experienced sleepless nights with a baby, but like
Oh yeah,
those types of things are coming his way too, right?
yeah,
If that
yeah,
baby doesn't sleep at night, he's gonna be up,
yeah.
and
Well,
he's gonna
dude, I
experience.
don't know though,
No, because
because when my kids were young, it didn't phase me. It
yeah,
did not phase me.
well,
I didn't get up
yeah,
because I couldn't.
because you couldn't
There's
do the
nothing.
things you
I
needed to
didn't have the
do,
correct equipment,
right?
so there's nothing that I could do. But
But
it'll be interesting.
yeah, because you know we don't entirely know the situation, but you know I mean he flat out said after he won the Masters, he's like, look, golf is number 4 to me, right? Number 1 is my faith in Jesus Christ. Number 2 is my wife. Number 3 is my child, my unborn child, the one that wasn't here yet, right? Number 4 is golf. So you know, he said he's like my identity is secure in all of those things before golf. I don't need golf to prove who I
Yeah,
am.
yeah.
So, you
And
know,
I think that what, Aaron, I think that is probably the reason that he's playing so well
yeah,
because he's not stressed out about it.
right.
If he
It's
does,
just something
if
he does.
right, right,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yep.
Oh, dude, kids before spouse. Who is this guy?
Yeah, that's
That's
not
what
true.
Kyle.
That's not
Kyle,
true. That's not
dude, you
true at
are
all.
so wow.
You gotta
Yeah,
have mom and dad have to be right,
yeah,
you know, for the
yeah,
family to be right. I
yeah.
disagree,
That's
Kyle.
it. Yeah.
To answer
Sorry,
your other
Kyle.
question, Kyle, you
Well,
asked if
because of that, Kyle, I'm no longer eating the sandwich.
oh
So
you are. No you are. Um, Kyle asked if I have a favorite golfer, so I know where he's going with this. He's going to throw a fit about it. I have favorite golfers. To me, it's not even. I just have golfers that I root for, depending on who's in the field, because you can't just have one golfer because one golfer doesn't play in every single tournament.
yeah,
So I
yeah,
have guys that I root for. Um,
yeah.
so obviously Scotty Chef's top of the list, and then I would put Jordan Spieth. He's been one that's up there for me. Now he plays like butt, but I like him a lot. Uh, I
So
like.
so let me ask you, Aaron. Do you think that golf is like every other sport that there's really not a goat? In my mind, you have to have like Jordan was the goat of his era.
Jordan
You
was
know?
the goat of 20. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Michael
I was
Jordan. Gotcha.
yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. I thought you were
Who did
talking
you
about
think I was?
because I was just talking about Jordan Spieth. I thought you were talking about
No.
Jordan Spieth.
Well, yeah, I mean I mean, he
he
was
was
good for a while.
he was the
Not a
goat
long
of
time.
1 year. He was
Right.
the goat of 2015.
Right.
It's so funny
And
because
then
Jared and I joke about him all the time, and I didn't mean to cut you off, but whenever
that's all right.
whenever people talk about Jordan Spieth, it's always, oh well, Jordan back in 2015, Jordan in 2015, back in 2015, Jordan, and it's like, man, I really wish you could just like compete at a high level again because he's a likable guy, he's fun to watch, but
Yeah.
that's all you can talk
Yeah.
about. Like he won all of his
Yeah.
majors in 2015, he everything's 2015. Apart
Yeah.
from that,
Yeah.
he went away. But anyway, you were saying about Michael Jordan.
Well, I just think that, do you think that golf is the same way as every other sport? Tiger is no longer the GOAT, obviously. He was a GOAT at one time, but well, he's not right now. I mean, there's no way.
So GOAT, greatest of all time. He's not the
Right.
greatest golfer right now,
See, I
but
see.
but
I
he
have I I have a problem with that designation. I guess I should say
okay.
with GOAT because I don't think there is. I don't think there like in basketball, baseball, football. There's nobody. Tom Brady. He is the greatest of all time. I don't think so. I mean, yeah, he's won what 7 Super Bowls but I mean, do you think he's better than Barry Sanders? I mean, Sanders didn't win a thing. You
Yeah.
know,
So it's it's a hard conversation to have really because what makes you the GOAT?
right,
Because okay, so golf is an individual sport, whereas
right.
football and whatever, that's a team sport. Um, golf, like to see somebody when you compare what Scotty Scheffler is doing right now to what Tiger did for a decade, like Tiger played at this level for a long, long time.
Yeah,
So to me, it's easier to have a GOAT conversation when we're talking
true,
about a sport
true.
where your achievements are individual achievements. Everything is an individual achievement, right?
Right,
You
right,
win a major, you did it by yourself. You didn't do it because
right.
somebody else made a putt for you.
Yep.
When you go to football and you go to basketball, right? That's when you have to start um,
True. Good point. Great
introducing
point.
all these other dynamics, right? So Tom Brady, one of the conversations I heard over the years was Tom Brady a product of Bill Belichick? Was Bill Belichick a product of Tom Brady? Right? Did one of them make the other? You look at compare Dan Marino to Tom Brady, right?
Yeah,
Dan Marino
yeah,
never won a Super Bowl. Tom Brady won 7.
right.
But skill wise as a quarterback, mm,
Yeah,
I would
yeah,
take Dan Marino. I think before I took Tom Brady, to be honest with you. So
yeah.
it's you where there's and again there's coaches in golf, but maybe coaches
Right,
matter a little bit more in the NFL or the NBA. As a player you got to play to your coach's scheme or um, there's a
right.
lot of other factors that are at play versus golf where it's just, I mean it's
I
purely you
just,
got to go out and you got to execute every day. You got to make your shot.
yeah, and that's a great point. I think that with it being an individual sport, it's just like tennis, golf. Um, what other? I mean, what other sport? Bowling.
Yeah.
You
Norm
know,
Duke.
who?
Norm Duke. That's the only golfer I know.
The only golfer the only bowler you know.
Bowler. That's the only bowler I know. Yeah, Norm
Yeah,
Duke.
dude. Dude, I remember my mom and dad sitting in front of the TV watching bowling every Saturday afternoon.
Oh, that
Oh
sounds
my
awful.
gosh. Uh,
Yeah, I'd rather watch paint dry. That sounds
That's
terrible.
what you used to say about golf, though, too, man.
It's true. It's true.
Yeah, yeah.
So, well, I'm not gonna put bowling and golf on the same tier. Look, here we go. I don't bowl all that often, but
Yeah,
I would say for as little as I bowl, I can hold my own. So I actually
yeah,
took Ellie bowling last week. Her and I just went. It was her first time ever bowling. She had the little ramp she pushed down, right?
yeah, yeah.
She had a great time. So I bowled my first game in probably a year, and I came out and bowled a 198.
Get out of town.
I swear,
198.
198. I have a picture.
Wow. Wow.
I think it
That's
was
pretty
198.
impressive.
But so to me, like bowling is hard, sure, but
Uh,
it's not comparable to golf. Golf
no.
is so
No.
hard.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Golf is.
You know,
It, I
if
would say that
a
golf.
guy who doesn't bowl but once a year can come out and shoot 2/3 of a perfect score, come on.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm
Yeah.
sorry, 188.
Okay, that's better.
But
Those
yeah,
10
it's
pins make a difference, man.
it does, it
So
does.
I would say I would venture to say, and I've said it before, that golf is the most difficult sport to play, bar none.
100%.
You know,
Yep.
I don't know that it's. I mean, hitting a 95-mile-an-hour fastball is very difficult. So I think some of the things that you have to skills that you have to play other sports are probably more difficult than golf,
Yeah.
you know, but because I mean, really, in golf, you hit the ball straight, you're gonna do okay,
Yeah.
you know. I
Well,
mean,
and people don't realize too. So I've had this conversation with other people. I've said the hardest thing to do in any sport to me is hit like would be to hit a major league baseball pitcher.
yeah,
Like
yeah,
harder
it's
than
ugly.
anything in football or whatever, right? To me that's the hardest because you have less than a second to respond to a fastball, and then no sooner do you get caught up to the fastball, now he's throwing you a curveball that's 10 miles per hour slower than the fastball was. Like
Yeah,
that's hard.
I
But
actually, when I was in high school, in Omaha, Nebraska, I actually played hit against the guy by the name of Greg Olson. Do you remember him? From the
yeah, he
from
was
the
the tight end for the
Baltimore.
Carolina Panthers.
Not him, no.
Oh,
And not the Greg Olson that caught for the Atlanta Braves. He was the Greg Olson that pitched for the Baltimore Orioles.
okay.
You remember him at all?
Nope.
No, I didn't think so. So, but he got I don't know when he got drafted, but he ended up being a closer, I think. But anyway, I hit against him, and I'm thinking, at that point, I think I was a senior and he was like a freshman, and I mean, just throwing smoke first of all for high school. He was probably throwing mid to high 80s at that point.
Wow.
You know, and then
As
his
a
curveball
freshman,
was,
dude, I can't even
uh,
imagine.
yeah, and then his curveball was just terrible. I mean, it was breaking from like 12 feet and just hitting solid. You know,
Wow.
so it was tough. I've never experienced anything like that, and
Yeah.
so
So that's hard, but to me, the hardest all around, right, to put everything together is golf.
yeah,
Because,
yeah,
a half an inch here means a mile down there, right? If you open your
yeah,
club face
yeah,
a half an inch at impact, you could be playing from two fairways over, right?
yeah, yeah,
And then
or more.
yeah, and then you insert like the dynamics where it's like there's trees out there, there's sand out there, there's water out there, right? There's all these things that stand in your way if you don't hit
Yeah,
the ball straight, right?
yeah.
So,
Well, even
um,
sometimes when you do hit it straight,
yeah,
they're still in the way. You
yep.
know.
And
So
then
I
when you
agree. I
finally
agree.
get it onto the green and you got a putt, you can go play Cumberland, right? And the greens there are a little bit slower.
Yeah,
And then tomorrow you can go play Range End, and it's like putting on a glass tabletop, right? Where they're so fast and
yeah,
they break
yeah.
differently. And yeah, it's just, man, it's just so hard. And these guys that are on the tour, man, and they go from one course to the next, and they just play at a high level all the time.
Well,
It's
you
just
you think
remarkable.
too, like when you're putting. I mean, it you look at you have the same line for two different shots, and the ball's going to react differently depending on speed, how hard you hit it.
Yep.
I mean, it's crazy.
So
So
many
I
factors
agree.
at play.
Yeah, yeah, there are,
Wind
there are.
sucks.
Yep,
Hate
yep,
wind.
yep. Breaking wind sucks.
Yep,
It
hitting
does.
into wind, hitting with the wind, hitting into crosswind. Ugh, it's terrible. Speaking of though, Baldo, we should go golfing again because we got to hit that
Sure.
Nike Square sometime.
Right. Whenever you're ready, dude.
Perfect.
Whenever you're ready.
Tomorrow?
Um, no.
No, okay. All right. Well, with that being said, it's past 8:30, and we talked about golf. So you guys who were here last week, Heard Baldo talk a little bit of trash about Scotty Scheffler. I know
I
you
did
didn't, but
not talk,
I know
dude.
you didn't, but I'm gonna say you did because it's more fun for me. Um, so I told Baldo last week, bad idea to bet against Scotty Scheff, but he did it once. He didn't learn his lesson, so he did it again. At the time, last Thursday night, Scotty Scheffler was 2 under par. The leader was 7 under par. He was 5 strokes back, and in 3 days he came back and he clutched it. He won it.
So
It wasn't close. He won by
I
three
was
strokes.
I have the same question, Aaron. When did he take over the lead? Last time,
Uh,
2 weeks ago,
day.
he took it over at the beginning, at the end of the third round, beginning of the fourth.
I think it was somewhere in the third round he took it over.
Was it?
Yeah, yeah, somewhere mid third round. So he carried the lead into day four and then
I think maybe
just
what I
separated
may have to
himself.
do is just, modify my bet and say, he's not going to be leading in the second round.
Dude, if you do that, I'm gonna write him a letter and I'm gonna be like, "Hey, listen, Scotty, I'm gonna need you to take care of me here," and he will. He will, because he can. But for anybody who was here last week Baldo had to eat a ketchup sandwich, just ketchup on a hot dog bun, because he picked Bryson DeChambeau to beat Scotty Scheffler, and he lost.
Yeah, I did.
So Baldo decided to run it back. He picked Rory McIlroy this week to go head to head against Scotty Scheff. At the time, Rory was I think 2 up on Scotty Scheff. He was 4 under.
He was.
Scotty was two
Yep.
under. Scotty not only passed Rory but buried Rory. Scotty finished minus 19. Rory finished minus 7, tied 33rd. So because of that, Baldo is here to make good on his bet.
Oh my goodness.
Baldo will be eating a mayonnaise sandwich tonight with black pepper. And
Wow.
from what I
Wow.
understand, you're not a mayonnaise fan. Is that accurate?
No. I mean,
So this could be the
no.
stew show for a little
The-
bit if Baldo has to like run to the bathroom and
Yeah, I'm like
vomit.
looking at this thinking, wow, I can't believe I have to eat that.
I'm really glad you do. I'm really glad you
Wow.
do. And you know who else is
So is
glad? Scotty Scheffler. He knows about
yeah,
it. He's watching right now. He's one of our
is he?
4 viewers. Yep, I told him about it.
All right. Well, so are we ready to do this? You want me to go ahead and do this, man?
Yep, rip the band-aid off, dude. Let's
Oh,
do it.
golly. This is
Get a
this
good amount of
okay.
mayo on
So
there.
I do have bread this week.
Yep, no
So,
hot
you
dog
know,
bun.
no hot dog bun. But oh
I'm
man.
kind of hoping that you hate this more than you hated the ketchup sandwich, because the ketchup sandwich, it seemed like you might have eaten one of those for lunch this week. How much you
No,
enjoyed it
I
last
did
week.
not do that. It wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be because you know like it didn't soak the bread. It
Yeah,
just kind of laid on top, you
yeah.
know. So and I think that's going to be the same way with this. This is going to be. Although I don't like mayonnaise, I like ketchup, so I don't like mayonnaise. So,
Well,
but so
I hope you hate
oh
it.
there
There it
is
is.
that
There's
is
a
that
good amount of mayo on there. Yeah. Kyle's
that
that
oh
good?
we gotta add the pepper.
Yep, your 1978 pepper shaker.
Hey,
Yep.
careful. All right. Wow.
Didn't mean to offend.
It,
Didn't mean to offend.
so can you see that?
That looks great. And by great, I mean
Wow.
disgusting.
Wow.
So,
So is Kyle
Kyle's
still here?
salivating. Kyle, are you here? Yep, Kyle says good. 1 minute ago, he says good.
All right. Wow. Okay.
Here we go. Take a big old heaping bite of that mayonnaise sandwich.
I'm gonna gag. I swear.
Oh, yes.
Ooh. Ooh. Ooh.
Oh, man.
Wow.
Yep. How is it? On a
Wow.
scale of 1 to 10. 1 being awful, 10
Let
being
me
the
let
best
me
thing
eat
you ever ate.
let me eat it first.
All right.
I'll tell you, this will be
Bro,
wow.
I would tell you right
Wow.
now, you're a better man than I, because I hate mayonnaise. There's no way I'd be able to do that.
Wow. The whole thing about this is that again, it doesn't make the bread soggy.
Yeah.
If the bread was soggy, I'd be gagging. I'd be done. But as much as I hate mayonnaise, it's not making the bread soggy, so it's not
Yeah.
bad. I think
No.
I think that if you ever have to eat ho-hos and cheese, that you're probably gonna gag.
Yeah,
you're
that's
probably gonna keg.
disgusting. Are you gonna bet against Scotty Chef again? Because I would hope that you learn your lesson by this, at
No,
this point.
no, no. I mean, what's next? Onion sandwich? Is that what Grampy eats?
That's what my pappy eats. Yep, onion sandwiches. Um,
Onion and what? Just onion?
yeah,
Just plain onion?
yeah,
Nothing else.
just onion
No,
on bread.
no.
That's Grammy. If you're here, um, I'm pretty sure that's all it is. Real
Wow.
quick draft recap. So we had Marvin Harrison Jr. go to the Cardinals at 3. Or wait, did I miss one? Oh, I'm sorry.
Marvin Harrison?
Drake May went to the Patriots at 3. Marvin
Ooh.
Harrison Jr. to the Cardinals at 4, and Joe Alt, an offensive tackle, to the Chargers at 5. Giants are on the clock.
Onion and butter. Onion and butter, Grammy says.
Onion and butter. Well, there you go. So next time you feel like betting against Scotty Chef, you just let me know, and that can be. You know what though? Maybe we need to make the. We just need to like blow it up for you the next one, like an anchovy smoothie or something like that. Make it real disgusting, because then you
Well,
will indeed learn your lesson.
did you remember that Nick? One of Nick's questions was from last week was, would you rather, what was it? Eat spoiled fruit or
Oh yeah,
or
spoiled
what was the
fruit
other?
smoothie, or I
I
forget.
forget what it was,
Let me see.
but
Let me see if I can find it.
for not liking mayo, he's really putting that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So this is stupid because it's like
The bigger bites, it takes less time. So
you guys should do a male female Scotty thing. What in the world does that mean?
boy or girl,
Oh,
boy or girl.
I already said I think Scotty's gonna be a girl dad. I think he's a girl dad.
That's nasty.
Answer
That's
my
just
question
nasty.
about Tiger. Hold on, let me scroll back. Aaron, what did it
Oh,
mean when I heard PGA paid Tiger to stay 100 million? I have no idea. I'll have to look into that. I know he was originally, there were rumors that he was offered like a ton, like multi-million dollars to go to live, and he turned it down. So I don't know if that's what it is. There's the 2 liter.
wow.
Baldo, Kyle says Baldo taking male, Baldo taking boy.
I mean, yeah, I'll take a boy.
Scotty's not gonna let me down, dude. It's gonna be a girl, 100%.
So he doesn't have any other kids, right?
No, this is his first
This
one.
is his first. Are there any odds
Let me make
on the?
sure. Let me make sure that they don't know and it's not out there because that would be. Let me see. Let me see. Everything just says birth of first child. So are we betting? Are we betting another food here, or are we going a different route, or what are we doing?
I don't know, dude. So I mean, dude, I've already. I mean, you know, that that I would say that was probably that was probably a little bit worse than the ketchup because I don't like
Yeah.
mayo.
Yeah, dude.
So
Yeah, like I
I'd
said,
probably
you're a better person than I. There ain't no way I would eat that. Nope.
I'd say it's probably like a 3 on the mayo
3
sandwich.
out of 10.
Yeah, yeah. Um, so you want to bet the food again, dude? Onion sandwich, onion and butter. Oh my,
Onion and butter and a Twinkie wrapped in is it American
nah.
cheese?
It's ho ho wrapped in American cheese.
A ho ho wrapped in American cheese. Yeah, that's
Yes.
fine. All right.
Ah,
So you guys heard it here. Bet number 3 is in place. Stu is taking girl. Baldo's taking boy. Scotty Chef, don't let me down. Have a girl.
the
Be a
the
girl dad.
boy
It's a great
the
thing.
boy the boy just better have put his putter in the right spot. That's all I got to say.
Jeez. Ooh, I don't think anybody saw that coming. Coming in at number 6 for the New York Giants, Malik Neighbors, wide receiver, LSU.
That Jim Neighbors' son?
I don't know.
Do you know who Jim Neighbors is?
I know who Mr. Rogers is, and I was his neighbor.
You don't know who Jim Neighbors is? Gomer Pyle?
Oh,
Any
yeah, I do
any
know that
idea?
guy. Yeah, Gomer Pyle. Yeah,
Okay.
the old Andy
Uh,
Griffith show.
that's right. That's Jim
Gomer and
Neighbors.
Goober.
Wow. Wow. Have we regressed or what?
Oh no, that's a great show. Great
So,
show.
all right. So, Aaron, so you're 32, right?
30, 33.
You're
Just turned
33.
33 in January.
Okay. So you're the same age as my son.
Yep.
What? So, talking about shows like that, what's the first show that you ever remember liking?
I remember liking.
Yeah, that you
Oh, that's
said,
a great
I've,
question.
I've
Okay,
got to
so
get home to watch it.
are we talking? So we're not talking like animated TV shows or whatever, like when I was a kid, or are we?
Anything. Yeah, anything.
So, so growing up, when we would spend me and my brother would like spend time at my grandma's house when we weren't at school. So I'm thinking like summer times and whatnot. We had a schedule um, of like
You had a
television shows,
schedule?
like a schedule of like television shows. I still remember to this day. So
Was
it
this on a
was
spreadsheet?
no, no, we didn't have laptops back then. We had America Online. Um, and
AOL.com,
actually,
baby.
Grammy never had internet at her house, so there ain't no
Oh,
way that was gonna happen. She still doesn't have
wow.
internet at her house.
Are you serious?
Yeah, yeah,
Oh,
Pappy
Grammy.
will not get internet
Wow.
because he ain't paying for that
So how is she on here?
on her
Is
phone,
she on her Oh,
on her cell
really?
phone. Yep, on
Ah,
mobile data.
okay.
So, but when we were growing up, there was several shows that we watched like every day. So, the one I'm gonna say, I don't know if it was like just like a local thing, but it was a show called Pappy Druid.
That's definitely a local show.
Okay, perfect. So that was I don't remember what channel it was on, but Pappy
Happy
drew it,
Druid.
and it was this.
So,
Hold on, I'm gonna find
are
it.
you sure that it wasn't your pappy that was drawing it?
I am 100% positive because Pappy drew it had hair, and my Pappy never had hair.
Okay.
Um,
All right.
so it was called
Happy
like
Druid.
Pappy's Dreamland or something like that. But it was a guy. He was an artist, and he would draw pictures, and like kids would he would show you how to draw pictures and whatnot. And
Gotcha. Wow.
Kyle and I we used to have these like trays
Yeah.
that you could put on your lap to like have
Yeah.
food on it or whatever. But we would get our trays out and we'd have our pens and our paper and out and we would draw whatever Pappy Druid draw
Wow.
or Pappy
Very
Druid
cool.
drew.
How old were you when this was going on?
This had to be 5, 6,
Wow.
7. I mean I don't know, but it was Pappy Druid. There was Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood classic,
Yeah. Yeah.
Reading Rainbow,
Yeah.
Arthur the Aardvark. Do you remember Arthur?
I do not.
I'm gonna share a picture of Arthur. You might remember this when you see it. I don't know. Let me see. See if I can share. If I can do the old screen share here. Screen share. Yep. All right. So if you wait a couple seconds there, up in the screen is Arthur the Aardvark.
Oh, that's Arthur. He's
Yeah.
an aardvark?
Yeah,
He's an
Arthur the
aardvark?
Aardvark. Yeah.
I always thought he was a teddy bear.
Nope, he's an aardvark.
Come
And
on,
then as
dude.
we got a little older, there was Clifford. There was like an animated
Yeah.
Clifford the Big Red
Yeah.
Dog. We watched that.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
those were the big ones
Yeah.
when I was a kid.
So,
Like we didn't miss those.
yeah. And I'm basically the same way. I remember getting up in the summertime, um, at like noon, and
Score.
Captain Kangaroo. Did you
Captain
ever see Captain?
Kangaroo. I've
Yes,
heard of it. I don't
dude.
know that I've watched it, but I
That
definitely heard of it.
show was banging.
Bangin'.
Yes, Captain Kangaroo. So Captain Kangaroo was a thing that I had to watch daily. And obviously there were good cartoons back then. None of this stupid
Yeah.
stuff like now. Like the Harlem Globetrotters had a cartoon that I used to watch all the time. Scooby Doo, you
Yes.
know.
Oh, Scooby Doo was
Um,
one of the
yeah,
greatest.
yeah,
And then
one of
like
the
the
greatest.
Saturday morning cartoons, Bugs
Yeah,
and Daffy and
yeah. Looney
Elmer
Tunes, baby.
Fudd, the
Looney
Looney Tunes.
Tunes.
Oh, so
Yeah,
good. Yeah,
yep, they
none
were.
of this crap that you see now.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
I remember like when I remember. Oh, see, Grammy says she remembers Captain Kangaroo.
Yeah.
So yeah, so Mr. Green Jeans was his maintenance guy there,
Mr.
and
Green Jeans.
that's right, Mr. Green Jean,
I'm Googling
and
Mr. Green Jeans. Yep, look, there he is.
he's got his overalls on, only
Yep.
hooked on one side.
Yep. Yep.
Yep, yep.
And the
So
first video is whatever happened to Mr. Green Jeans.
so, but that was probably the one. That was the one that I said I can't miss Captain Kangaroo.
Yeah.
So,
There was
so
also one, so this is kind of weird, like as a young kid, um there was all those like animated shows, but then there was also The Price is Right. We loved watching The Price is Right from 11 to 12 with good old Bobby B. Uh,
oh my
we
word.
would watch that all the time at my grandma's house. We watched Price is Right, and we'd try to. We loved watching them play Plinko and spinning the wheel and all that kind of
Yeah,
stuff. Yeah,
yeah.
that was good. Pappy wants to know if you remember Pinky Lee show. Are you
Pinky
talk? If you're
Lee?
talking to me, absolutely not. I do not. What
No,
up, Kay? Sorry,
no clue. No clue about Pinky Lee. It must be a
never even heard of that before in my life.
yeah, yeah, me neither. Me neither.
So but those were shows that I watched like as a young kid. But I would say like if we're talking like as maybe a teenager slash younger
Dude,
adult, the ones that
best
I could
cartoon
most.
ever though. Best cartoon ever.
I'm gonna judge you
Fat
here.
Fat Albert and the Cosby Kids. Did you ever watch it?
No.
Bill Cosby did all of the voices for this gang. There must
Okay.
have been 6 or 8 different guys, and he did all the voices for these animated cartoon.
Huh.
Fat Albert and the Cosby Kids. You
Huh.
gotta watch it, dude.
All
Gotta
right.
watch it.
I'll give it a whirl.
Yep, there you go. You're
But I
gonna
think
get Ellie hooked on it.
hey hey hey, it's Fat Albert.
Hey.
Hey hey hey. Um, I think as I got older, like I think honestly the first show that I remember that I was like tuning into every week when it was on was 24.
Really?
Yeah, yeah,
24?
24.
Dude,
Like what?
that was
So
wow.
that was the first show that I was like, hey, I can't miss it when it's on live. I want to watch it. Um,
Wow.
Other shows, I mean, I just watched period. Like I grew up, I watched a lot of Andy Griffith with my dad, Seinfeld
Yeah.
with my dad. My mom watched Friends. My mom was also a big like Gilmore Girls, stuff like that, right? She watched all those
I
things,
hate that show.
and I mean, I didn't hate it. Um,
I hated that show.
so Gilmore Girls, 24 was 2001. So I was like 10 years old when it came out.
Wow. Wow.
But
I remember
that was a great
2001.
show. Yeah,
2001. Wow. I'd have been, what, 29? 39?
I was 10. You were dating yourself right now.
I was 29. Wow. Wow. So,
But
the other show that we used to watch all the time was Brady Bunch, the Brady
oh yeah,
Bunch.
that was a good one too. We watched that one with
Yeah.
my dad.
Yeah.
Yep.
Sanford and Son. Used to watch that one a lot.
Never got into that one.
Really?
Yeah.
Come on, dude. That was a great show. Lamont. Oh my. Um, but I was the same way. I watched Andy Griffith. There's another show out called Green Acres. Did you ever see
Oh
Green
yeah. Oh,
Acres?
Grammy's about to lose her mind right now. Now that you said that, Green Acres. So my Grammy's a big like Western person. Like her and
Okay.
Pappy watch a lot of old westerns. So they had uh Lone Ranger. My mom was a big Sam Elliott fan, so any movie he was in, she would
Oh
watch
my
those.
goodness. That's
Um,
crazy.
yeah.
That is
Oh, and
who's
Kyle.
who
Oh, Kyle's just Oh my gosh, Kyle's reminded me of like a whole. Sorry, I'm gonna have to go back before. Yeah, this just took me. So before 24, it was Family Matters
Yeah,
with Steve
yeah.
Urkel, Saved by the Bell. Kyle and I
Oh
used to, when
my.
we were homeschooled, we
Oh,
used to wake up early to watch that show and then go back to sleep. Don't tell my mom that we went back to sleep, because we were definitely still awake and doing our schoolwork from 8 to 9. But it came on from 7 to 8, and we would watch Saved by the Bell. Full House was another one with Bob
yeah,
Saget. That was a great
yeah.
show. Those were
The
all before
twin.
24. Yeah, Mary Kate and
Yeah, the
Ashley.
twin.
Yeah,
So
those
who
were good ones.
somebody so I was talked about Fat Albert and the Cosby Kids.
Yeah,
One of the guys' names was Mushmouth. That was his I don't know what his real name was, but he was Mushmouth. And
Mushmouth.
he would talk to like to this about everything had a B in it. So it was just and somebody just mentioned I'm not even sure who Karen oh is it?
Karen. So
Oh yeah,
Karen
Karen
Shivert,
McCullough.
she was
Yeah.
one of my friends. I worked with her at Jim and Nina's for a while.
Okay.
We've known
Yeah.
each other for a long time.
Yeah.
We call her
Cool.
K.
Okay.
K.
Okay,
Even
Kay.
though Karen doesn't, she doesn't spell Karen with a K,
Yeah. That's
but K.
So yeah, so there's a lot of there's I mean, the funny thing about it is they're trying to redo a lot of these shows now too.
Yeah,
You know, I mean they're bringing them back, and it's like that's just crazy. You don't have any new ideas or what?
yeah. Well, so funny. Yeah, Karen, long time, long time. Man, what year would that have been? Sorry, I gotta take a quick detour. We
Okay,
moved down to
all right.
Dover in 2007, and I started Jimenina's at that time, and she was there. So, uh, was it 17 years? I've known Karen.
Wow, wow,
Yep,
almost as long as I've known you.
good friend, good friend. Um,
Cool.
Now what was I saying? What did you just say?
Shows,
Oh,
TV shows.
yeah. So the other day, so Ellie started watching this new animated thing called Daniel Tiger. I don't know
Okay.
how she found it, but she Alexa, put it on for her, and I'm watching the show, and I'm starting to see like some of these things, um, like animated characters that looked somewhat familiar, and I was like, what? Like, this is a new show, but like I'm hearing names and stuff. It's all sounding familiar. Daniel Tiger was one of the puppets in Mister Rogers' like Land of Make
Oh,
Believe,
really? Okay.
and so this Daniel Tiger show, this animated tiger, all his friends are all the puppets from Mister Rogers,
Oh my goodness.
and so at the end of the show, as I'm watching it, I like put it together, and at the end of the show, it says it's like a Fred Rogers production or something like that, and I'm like, what in the world? I was like, this show died like 20 years ago, and you're like, you can't
Yeah.
just create like a new thing. You gotta bring it all back and bring. But honestly, it was kind of cool because I'm hearing all these names and I was like, oh man, this is like hitting me right in the feels. Like this was a show that I
Yeah.
used to
Yeah.
not
Yeah.
miss every day. It was like from 12 to 12:30 or something like that, right? I always had to be there for Mister Rogers, and now my daughter is kind of enjoying like not the same show, but sort of.
Yeah, yeah.
It's pretty cool.
Well, really, I mean, that's a lot of these spin-offs, man. That's where they come from, from
Yeah,
from stuff like that. I was just thinking about one of the other cartoons. Was it cartoon? What was I just thinking about?
I
Oh
don't know because
shoot,
I'm not inside your brain.
I was just thinking about another show that I used to watch all the time. Oh man, I can't remember now.
You'll
Doggone
remember.
it. Yeah, I'll remember
You'll
soon enough.
remember.
So. Yeah,
But
so your friend said that she just realized that show that you watched
Daniel
that you were
Tiger.
watching, yeah,
Yep.
was she never connected it until right now. So there
Yeah.
you go.
It's yeah, cuz like I said, it was really when they started saying the names like of the different characters. I'm like, "Why where have I heard this before? Where have I heard this before?" And like there's a trolley, right? And I don't know how much you remember from Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood, but when
Yeah,
they went to the land of make believe, there was a trolley in his house and it drove through the tunnel and that's how you and so like the trolley is like um the one of the focal points for this show, and I'm like,
yeah.
bro, I was
You,
like,
you
this
you
is
think
this is
about
hitting me
you,
right in the feels.
you think about this, Aaron. We're talking about shows, and if you look at it, it's like, oh my goodness, I can't believe I actually watched that.
Yeah,
You know.
Yep.
Just like this doesn't make any sense. But
Well, dude,
so
Mr.
the
Rogers
show. Oh yes, yeah, yeah. I had heard I guess they call it an urban legend that you know why he wore long sleeves? Why I heard that he wore long sleeves all the time? You never saw him in short sleeves, right?
drugs. No, I don't know.
No, I heard it was he had tattoos. He had tattoos
No
all the time.
shot. No shot.
That's what I heard. That's what I heard. That's why he wore long sleeves all the time. You never saw him in short sleeves. So,
That would change so much for me. Like, not I have nothing against tattoos at all, but that would definitely change my perception of Fred Rogers
oh
because
my
he's just
goodness.
so clean cut.
I
It
know.
was honestly like one of the most wholesome shows you'll ever see
Yeah.
in your life.
What did you see the movie that they made about him? Did you go see it?
Uh-uh.
What's it what was it called? Welcome to my neighborhood or something like that. It
Okay.
was by Tom Hanks was Mr. Rogers. You didn't
Oh, no,
see
I
it?
didn't see that.
It was
No.
a good movie. It was a good movie. But yeah. So,
So
there you go.
I'm looking at a picture here. This does not look photoshopped at all. He's actually standing with Steve Irwin, it looks like. He's wearing a t-shirt, white t-shirt, no tattoos. And he's
I don't know.
definitely on the older side. So
I
I
think
think we're clear.
I think it's photoshopped.
I hope not. That would be so
No,
wild. I don't know
it's the
how I would.
show. Yeah, that would be really weird. That would be really weird. Can you imagine?
No, I don't know what I would do with my life.
I
I
mean,
would feel like my life is a
imagine,
lie.
imagine if his from his wrists up to his neck and down to his ankles was all
Like he
tattoos.
just took his
Remember?
sweater off and he's got sleeves. Like, oh man! And I guess next you're gonna tell me that like LeVar Arrington from Reading Rainbow was, you know,
White.
yeah, yeah. I don't know. Just throwing me all these curveballs, ruining my childhood.
So
Oh man.
the other cartoon that I was thinking about was the Flintstones.
Oh yeah,
So I
that
used
was a
to
good
watch
one
the
too.
Flintstones all the time. Yeah.
Yep. Yep. Yabba
So
dabba doo. Yep.
so,
Yeah.
but
Yeah, they definitely.
it.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was just gonna say they try to like bring some of these things back, and kids nowadays like they don't want it, but
Yeah.
also
Yeah.
like the people that enjoyed it, we don't want it either. You know, like we just want
Well,
the
so
OG because the
so
remakes are never
you
as good as
mentioned
what it was.
you watched Full House. Did you watch Fuller House? Did
Yeah,
you
it was.
watch it when it
Yeah,
came
it
out?
sucked. It
Yeah, it
sucked.
did.
Yeah, yeah, it sucked. It was
Most
no.
definitely.
Yeah,
Most
dude.
definitely.
So yeah. No, it didn't hold a candle, and that's the thing. Like they do these things because they think it's a money grab, and they think they're gonna pull all these people back in that live their lives and uh, like
Yeah.
they, you know, you grew up with the show, you really did, and like one of the ones me and Kyle we loved was Saved by the Bell. Saved by the
Oh
Bell was
yeah.
so good, right? And
Yeah.
so we kind of watched that show, and then you know they were in. I think when they like at the very beginning, you know, they might have been in like middle school or like late middle school, early high school, but you watched them go through school.
Yeah. Yeah.
Then they did the college years, and the college years
Yeah.
weren't as good, but you know, then they
Right.
tried to years later, they tried to bring back Saved by the Bell a couple
Yeah.
years ago, and we're
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
nobody's asking for that, right? Leave it alone. Leave it alone.
Right. Right.
I'm not diving into that. I already did that journey.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
and then my Grammy also just brought up Land Before Time. That was one of mine. I those the dinosaur
I
movies.
never
Oh
I
man,
never I think I watched that a little bit, but I never got into it. You
oh,
never
I
got into
watched
it.
those all the time. That was one
There
of
was
mine.
one. Oh, really?
Yep.
Yeah, I never got into those types of movies. Land Before Time and there was another one too, and I can't even remember the name of it. Um I can't remember the name of it, but it's
Let,
just it's funny.
so let's transition this real quick, and what what is I gotta figure out how to word this question because I already know what my answer is. So what's one of the most peculiar or um not common movies that you've watched that you enjoy? Like a movie that maybe you've seen that you enjoyed that most other people maybe wouldn't have seen. Right? So obviously you can list
Wow.
like your favorite
Um,
movies and it's like,
yeah,
they might be
yeah.
top of the list on everybody, but like give me one of your favorite movies that maybe other people wouldn't know or wouldn't have experienced. And Kyle, I want you to try to guess in the chat. So this would be a movie that him and I watched growing up. That when I talk to people now and I'm like, oh hey yeah this movie, they're like what? Never heard of it.
Um, wow, that's a tough question because I don't obviously don't watch a lot of movies.
Yeah.
Um, but I for some reason, for some reason, you ever see the Bench Warmers?
Yeah.
That
That's the one with
that
the
movie.
guy who played Napoleon Dynamite, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. He is so hilarious in that movie.
Oh yeah,
You
that
know,
movie's a good
because
movie.
he can't hang onto the bat. So remember they end up duct taping the
Duct
bat to
tape.
his hands, and he ends up running all over the place and hitting people with it. And then they bring in the people that they're playing bring in the huge Cuban guy that ends up getting drunk and
Oh yeah.
so.
Dude, it's been a while since I watched that movie, but that's a
And
good
they
one.
have Reggie Jackson. Remember his
Yeah.
training? They took him in, put him in the back of the truck, and he goes down the street hitting mailboxes. So,
Oh man.
no,
Um,
just dumb, just dumb.
Kyle. So I don't know if you caught the whole thing. I was asking like a movie that people that we've watched that you've watched that you enjoy that maybe other people have never heard of or watched or seen. So the only clue I could really give to you, I think, without giving it away, would be we watched it a lot when we were kids. I can't even tell you actors because I don't even know. Like these guys that were in this stuff, like I've never seen them anywhere else. Um,
So, so
guys or gals,
your
I have no idea. Like I
your
don't know.
friend from Jimenina says Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy.
Never heard of
I'm
that
like,
before in my life.
are you serious?
Yeah, I've never heard of
Oh
that
my
before in my
goodness,
life.
I've heard of it, but I've never seen it
Let me
because
see.
it just looks so stupid to me.
Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. Oh, it's the first thing that pops up on Google when you.
Yeah, yeah,
I might have to look
yeah.
at that one. We'll see. I'm all for watching new stuff. Yes,
I'm trying to.
Kyle. Yes, yes. Baby's Day Out. Have you ever heard of that movie, Baldo?
No, I have not. I have
Dude,
not.
I don't know. I don't know who made this movie. Um, so the story. Spoiler alert, right? I'm gonna blow this movie up for everybody that's in the chat right now.
Oh wow.
So there's like this rich family, husband and wife, and a baby, and they schedule this photography company to come and take their baby's picture. They do it, but the photography company, like these three guys, they like they come in and they kidnap the baby.
Okay.
But prior to kidnapping the baby, there's a nanny in the family, and the nanny like reads this book, and there's like three things or four things that in the book that happen. So when these guys kidnap the baby gets out of the house and like does all the things that were in the book, like goes to the zoo, goes to a construction company, like
Oh my word.
and so the parents then put this together like, "Oh my gosh, like they're hearing where the baby was seen and they're like, "Oh my gosh, the baby did this and that's in the book and this and that's in the book." And after like the third thing they're like, "The baby must be here at the fourth spot." And then they go there and they find the baby and
Okay.
the guys get arrested and whatnot. It's the dumbest thing in the world. Can't even tell you who made it. Um I'm looking it
So,
up right now.
okay, another one that you
Nine,
probably have. How
made in
about,
94.
have you ever heard of Blast from the Past?
Yes.
That is an
Oh
awesome
my
movie.
gosh, great movie. Yes.
That is an
Yes.
awesome
I was
movie.
actually going to bring that one up as an honorable mention.
I was
It's a
like,
great movie.
I was trying to think. I couldn't even remember the name of it. The only guy I remember from it is Brendan Fraser. He's the
Yeah,
guy.
that's the
He's the
only
guy that comes
one.
back. Oh my goodness, that is so funny. It is
Dude,
so funny.
when he comes
That is.
out, when he comes out, when he comes out, and he walks outside and sees his like the first African American he's ever seen in his life, and what he says, dude. Oh my gosh. So funny. Oh man, what a great
That
movie.
was that was yeah, that was a great movie. That was a great movie. But
So
you don't hear anything about it, but it was a great
no,
movie.
so Baby's Day Out was made in '94,
Okay.
starring Joe Man
Uh,
Mantegna.
Mon Mon
So
Mon no.
he's the
Montaigne.
only one I know. He was in
It's Joe
Criminal Minds.
Montaigne. Yes. Joe
And then
Montaigne.
you had Laura Boyle, Joe Pantoliano, and Brian Harley. I don't know who any of those
Wow.
people are. Um, the movie was super, super dumb. It's 99 minutes long. It's like an hour and a half. But Kyle and I, for some reason, we used to watch that over and over and
Oh my
over again.
goodness.
Grammy can
Wow.
attest to it. Kyle, I mean, I could probably watch
Wow.
it and still quote it.
That's
Um,
funny. That
yeah,
is funny. Wow.
but oh yeah, oh
Yeah.
Kyle, that was another. You were more about that movie though than I was, but that was a good one. Ed, did you ever watch that one? Baldo,
Ed.
you would probably enjoy that one. So it's from the guy who plays Joey Tribbiani from Friends.
Okay.
What's his name?
Yeah. Yeah. I know who you're
Uh,
talking about.
but he has a pet monkey, and the monkey plays baseball.
I have not seen that
Dude,
nor ever heard of it.
bro, you should 100% watch that movie. That one's really good. Matt LeBlanc.
Yeah. Yeah. That's funny. Wow.
Yeah, that's a good one too. Man, I'm like thinking back to all these like low budget like movies that we watched. That one was made in '96.
Wow.
Ed.
Grammy, the movie Grease. Everybody's heard of Grease, Grammy.
Oh yeah, Grease was one of my favorites too. And then I
Are you
realized,
serious?
oh yeah, I loved Grease.
I
Um,
watched it one time and that was it.
but I also remember, um, well, as I got older and I started listening to like the actual lyrics of some of the songs in that movie, I always wondered why my mom let me watch it. So, up, Ellie's down
Why?
here.
What
She's
what
wearing us.
what was implied, Aaron?
Um, a lot of implications were implied. Yeah, there was
Yes, there
a
was.
lot of
Yes.
sexual innuendos, and we'll leave it at that.
Oh,
Yeah,
oh my goodness.
Kyle. Yeah, that was a good one too. Summer Catch. That was a Freddie Prinze Jr. And yeah, Jessica Biel. Seventh Heaven. That was another good show.
Oh
Until the
yeah.
dad was
Yeah.
found out to be like a pedophile or something.
Seventh Heaven.
What a wild time
Uh,
that was.
how about Eight is Enough? You ever watch Eight is Enough?
Nope.
Dick Van Patten was the father and they had eight kids.
Eight is
So
enough.
eight is enough.
Yeah, yeah, that's what he just. Baldo just said that from 77. Again, you're dating yourself there. 77 to
Yeah.
81.
Well,
I was
hey.
literally negative 10 plus years old.
So yeah, it is what it is.
Oh man, good
So
stuff. No, we're just talking about like stuff that we watched when we were growing up. Bull Durham, Alexa said.
I that one. I mean, it was all right. That one had a lot of innuendo in it. I mean, that one
He
was
said that
just.
one has a lot of innuendos in it. Oh, apparently it's an R-rated movie.
Oh, is
We
it?
didn't watch those in our house.
Yeah.
Mama
Yeah.
Sue, she put the kibosh on those movies
Really?
until we got a little bit older, and then she got a little bit looser with yeah, she got a little bit looser with some of her restrictions. Um, yeah, there were definitely some movies that we watched that we probably shouldn't have.
So have you ever heard of a movie called Can't Buy Me Love?
No,
It was what the heck was his name?
I don't know.
Um, what the heck was his name? All right, hold on a second.
Oh, Kyle,
It
yes,
was about
Rush
it was about
Hour.
this. Oh yeah, that was a good movie. That was a good movie. It was about this kid that mowed lawns and then paid a girl to be his girlfriend to become popular.
Score.
So that's
Nice.
that's what that's what the take of the movie was. But I can't remember. Oh man, can't remember what. what the guy's name was. He's a really popular actor.
What was the movie?
Can't Buy Me Love.
Um, Patrick Dempsey.
Yeah, yeah, that's him. Yeah. What the heck?
Um,
So anyway.
yeah. So I'm gonna put my mom on blast here for a second because of some of the movies that she let us watch. But as I grew up, I was like, man, I was like, why did she let me watch these things? So first off was a good old Tom Cruise movie by the name of Cocktail. Did
Oh,
you ever watch
okay.
that one? Yeah.
I did.
Dude, we
Yeah,
were
that
like
was it.
we were like 10 years old watching Cocktail. Like we had no place watching
I
Cocktail.
thought you were gonna say Risky Business.
We watched Risky Business. Yep. Um, let me see what else. We watched. Oh man, we were a little bit older when this one came out, but White Chicks with
Oh,
the
really?
dude. Kyle and I used to watch White Chicks all the time. Um,
Kyle said Drew Barrymore movie.
oh yeah, Never Been Kissed. Never Been Kissed was that one. My mom liked that
Oh,
one. So that was Drew Barrymore was like a reporter, and she had to go back to like she went back to high school and for like a
oh,
reporting
okay.
assignment
I
or something like that.
remember that.
Yep.
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
Who doesn't like Tom Cruise?
Grammy
Grammy
doesn't like
doesn't like
Tom Cruise.
Tom
That's
Cruise?
terrible. That's terrible. Oh,
Ah,
Kyle also Miss Congeniality with Sandra Bullock. That was a good movie too.
that was a good movie. The two movies after that were horrible though.
Horrible. Yep.
They were
Again, dude, it's
terrible.
just a matter of like just let the one go, right?
Yeah,
One
yeah.
was great. Nobody was asking for two and three. I understand it's a money grab, but like you probably lost money in it to be honest with you. Very not very often does a number 2 or a number 3 do even comparable,
Yeah. Well,
close to as well as number 1 did.
so the one series, if you want to call it that, has done well well, actually two of them that I can think of is Halloween, because
Okay.
there was like six Halloween movies.
Yeah,
Did you ever
Michael
watch?
Myers.
Are you,
Yeah,
are you ever scared? Are you a scary guy? Are you guys
big
scare you?
time. Love scary movies.
Really?
Yeah.
So Halloween,
Yep.
Halloween was the only one that I would ever watch. I would not watch anything else. And then Friday the 13th. That series was huge.
Yeah.
With Freddy Krueger and the whole cast. But other than that, I mean, you look back at it, and it's like this is crazy. These
Yeah.
people are bad. Air
So,
Bud. Oh
yeah,
my
oh, that was
God.
another good one. We watched that one. Yep.
I
So,
I
here's
watched that and I'm like, this is just that is such a dumb
but you
movie.
were an adult, right? As a kid, you're watching a dog play basketball. That's cool. That was cool. Um
My goodness.
so something that we can talk about in a future pod um sequels. Because
Yeah.
I'll be real, I
Yeah.
hate sequels.
Yeah.
The what, sweetheart? Yeah. Um, so sequels. Oh, Penn State lineman just got taken at number 11. Let's go Penn
Can't even
State.
I can't even pronounce his name.
Olumiwa Fashanu.
Yeah, same to you, pal.
Yep. Bless you. Um,
13 Ghosts. Never heard of that one either.
yeah, I was gonna say I don't know that one either, but oh, the that means the Broncos are on the clock now, Baldo. We can't
Uh,
sign off until the Broncos make their pick. But um,
I'm saying they're not going to pick anybody. They got Zach Wilson. They don't need anybody.
oh, I don't even know. There was like all the quarterbacks that I wanted were taken, I think, at this point. So, um, I so the caveat to what I'm about to say regarding sequels. Sequels can be good, or the only sequels that I've ever seen be good or successful is ones that came from books where the story was already written and the sequel was already planned.
Okay. I mean
I
that
I
makes
don't
sense.
I don't think you can ever give me a movie number 2 or um
Uh,
or something that wasn't pre-made like or prepared. The story wasn't already written
right.
where it was more
Right.
successful than number 1.
So let me ask you. So with Star Wars, which came first, the book or the movie? I can't
That's
remember.
a good question. That's a good question. I'm not sure. I would assume the books, but I don't know that for sure.
Yeah, I can't remember.
But like for
I
me,
like.
right? I'm into
Yeah.
like the nerdy movies, Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
all books before movies. And
Right.
I would argue my favorite movie, or of those three movies, the order of my favorites would be two, three, one. But again, that
Okay.
story was already written, already prepared.
Right. Right.
Harry Potter movies, same thing. Books were already written, movies were made. And I would argue that the first movie is probably one of my least favorite.
Yeah. Well,
Um,
yeah, I often wonder, Aaron, if it's, because a lot of times, like I've talked to Michaela. Michaela's a big reader, and she'll
okay.
she'll say that was a book before it was a movie, and she'll say a lot of times that they don't follow, the movies
Yeah.
don't follow the books.
Yep.
I wonder why it's so hard to do that. I mean, it doesn't make any sense to me. If the book's already written and it's a success, why not just follow it to the T?
I
You
think a
know?
lot of it has to do with money and time, right? Because when you take,
Yeah.
like, for instance, like the Lord of the Rings, there's a lot that are in those books, and I'll be real, I'm not a reader. I've never read the books, but I know there are
Yeah.
people that have, and there's so many things that are cut out from the
Right.
books in the
Right.
movies, and those movies are 3 hours apiece. So
Yeah. Yeah.
and maybe that's
That's
just a
true.
Lord of the Rings situation, but if you were to put everything in the book into the movie, you're looking at maybe a 5 hour movie or even longer.
Wow. Wow.
Um,
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know if
Yeah.
that's the case for all books, but I think a lot of it is, money and
I would imagine you're probably right.
Harry Potter's the same way. Alexa's read the books, and as I've watched the movies, she said, "Oh my gosh, this is explained so much better in the book. The detail in this is so much better in the book."
Yeah.
And I just take your word for it because there ain't no way I'm sitting down and reading that thing. Like no way. That's I'd rather
So
be
you're
out
like me.
golfing or oh yeah, no
You're
yeah,
like
no shot.
Yeah. So if it's like a magazine article or like a blog or something like that, I'm all in. I can read those
Sure.
magazine articles, newspaper articles, that kind of stuff. I can read those all day long.
Yep.
Give me a book, and
I
I'll
have
like in my collection, I've got probably I don't know maybe 150 different baseball books,
yep.
and I've read like three-quarters of all of them.
Yep.
I'll get to the last quarter and I won't finish it. So
Yeah. I have zero desire to sit down and read a book that's like 400, 500 pages long. When
so
I can
don't
go
plan
play
on.
18 holes and then come home and watch the movie all in less time than it took me to read the book.
Yep, that's true.
So,
That's true. I, you know,
no thank you.
I don't plan on reading War and Peace in there. I mean, you won't get through it.
No, listen. Yeah, this is gonna sound really terrible, but other than like the Bible, the last book that I read was probably in like 11th grade. Like, I have zero desire to read anything. I don't,
So,
I don't.
so when you were in college, did you not have any books that you had to read?
Yeah, we did. There's also this website called Spark Notes,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
was definitely a frequent flyer of
So back in my
SparkNotes.com.
day, back in my day, with no internet and no, Spark Notes, we
Yeah,
had what we call these little yellow books that were called Cliff Notes.
Cliff Notes.
And yeah, and they basically
They were the
summarize
Yeah, they
any
were
book that you
the
can
written
think of.
version of SparkNotes.
That's
Yeah,
it.
dude,
That's it.
SparkNotes was the goat, man. SparkNotes had character breakdowns and summaries. It had chapter breakdowns and summaries. Like it had anything you could ever need to write a
Wow.
report on a book without reading their book without reading the
Wow.
book. It was amazing.
That's
It was
crazy.
amazing.
That is crazy.
Yep. Yeah,
That
it
is
was
crazy.
ugh. Karen says
Wow.
she remembers those. Your Cliff
So I
Notes.
I would say that was probably your AI before there was AI,
Yeah.
pretty much.
Man, the
You know.
evolution of things, am I right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's for
bro.
sure.
Now you can
That's
go
for sure.
to you can download an app, Chat GPT, right? And you can tell it, write me a 1,000 word summary on the Lord of the Rings, and it's gonna do that for you.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
what's weird is it's gonna be right. Like,
Yeah.
like
Well,
they're
it's
so smart.
interesting that I have a nephew. Actually, it's my niece's husband, so basically my nephew, but he is a college adjunct professor,
Okay.
and he says that it is so easy to tell when AI has written a paper
Yeah. Oh, I'm
because
sure it is.
because nobody can. outline it like that. You know, I mean, he said I'll get papers from kids who haven't even been to class. You
Yeah.
know, and it's a perfect paper. So you know that he didn't do it.
Here we go.
Who they
Roger
take?
Roger Goodell's making the announcement. Bo Nix, quarterback, Oregon.
Dude, I can't believe they took Bo. They got Zach Wilson. What do they need Bo for?
Yeah, whatever. I'm not
Come
excited
on,
about
man.
this at all, but it's fine.
Come on. It'll be, I don't know. This is probably the first time in a long time that the Lions haven't had an early first round pick.
Yeah.
So, you know,
Yeah, what
I
is
mean, that's
life? Detroit's
right.
picking like 20 something. Like what?
Wow. That's really weird. Really weird. So,
Anyway, something to sit on, Baldo. Think about what I asked you about the sequels. Maybe
okay.
we'll revisit
Uh,
that, but obviously, so when I think sequels, like the one that I've used in conversation a lot is Toy Story. I don't know
oh,
why,
yeah.
but like Toy Story,
Yeah.
right? So that's a thing, right? There was no book, there was no story. So Toy Story 1, classic, one of the greatest
Yeah.
Disney Pixar movies of all time, right? So many people love Buzz Lightyear and Woody. But then you start getting into Toy Story 2 and 3 and however 7, whatever they're on now, and it's just
Right.
like progressively takes a larger and
Yeah.
larger
It,
dump.
I don't even, I don't even think that I've seen anything except for the original one. I
Yeah,
haven't seen any of the other ones.
Lion King.
So,
Lion King was
yeah.
that was my favorite, like one of my favorite Disney movies growing up. And
Yeah.
they made Lion King 2. That movie was a flop. They did
Wasn't
Lion
it?
King 1.5 with Timon and Pumbaa. That was a
Yeah.
flop. Like
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
just stop while you're ahead.
Yeah.
But
Yep. It's like you said, man. It's a money grab.
yep,
You know, it's
they're trying
crazy.
to trying to
So,
tug on our heartstrings, but nobody wanted it. So just leave
yeah.
it alone.
Ba-
Leave it in the
Basically,
vault.
there. Yep. Yep. Put it in the dumper. Leave it
That's
where it's
right.
at.
Take a big
So
old dump like your movie did.
that's it. That's it. So, um, it's there. You think about it, there are a ton of sequels. The other thing that baffles me though, Aaron, is when sequels don't get made. You know, I mean,
Yeah,
there's so many movies out there that leave threads hanging in an effort to say, well, maybe we'll do a sequel here. So you're gonna
I
the
was just
one
gonna
that I
say,
think
what's the
of,
one that you think of the most?
you're gonna laugh. It's yeah. Did you ever see Lemonade Mouth?
No, I don't even know. I've never even heard of that before in my life.
So I should have brought that one up as one of the movies that I really like
Yeah,
that nobody's ever heard of. Lemonade Mouth. So and I was expecting a sequel, but they never made one. So
Lemonade
it was
Mouth.
Lemonade Mouth.
Well, it's got an 80% on Rotten Tomatoes, so that's not terrible. Could be worse.
It was a decent movie. It was a decent movie. But I don't even know if there's anybody in it that I'd have ever heard of.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking right now. Starring Bridget Mendler, Adam Hicks, Naomi Scott, Haley Kiyoko, Blake Michael. Never heard any of them.
So oh, come
Oh,
on,
that's a
what the
Disney
heck?
movie.
Yeah, yeah,
Huh.
it was a good movie. It was a good movie. The one, who was I thinking of? Haley Kiyoko. She was actually one of the leads, and I've seen her in other stuff.
Okay.
Um,
Let me look her up.
but and then Christopher McDonald, you know him. Christopher McDonald, if you look at him, you know him.
I have no idea who Haley Kiyoko is. I just looked her up. I've never seen her before.
Really?
Who was the other one?
McDonald, Christopher McDonald.
Oh, yeah, I know him.
Yeah, yeah.
That one
He
I know.
he
The other
normally
one I do
plays.
not.
Wasn't he in um the golf movie with Sandler?
Happy Gilmore. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's where I
He was.
pictured him. Yep.
What was his name?
Um,
Shooter McGavin.
Shooter. Yeah, Shooter. Yep.
Shooter McGavin.
Shooter
There
McGavin.
you go. So cool.
Yep. Interesting. A lot of solid TV shows and movies talked about this evening.
It's interesting because now you look at it. So are there shows now that you watch that you don't want to miss?
No, not really, to be honest with
Really?
you. When you honestly, when you were talking about like a sequel, all I want in this world is for them to do an Office reunion. That's it. Um, Shows that I watch, what I watch on television now is pretty much just sports, or I'll rewatch shows
Really?
that I've watched that I've enjoyed, like
So
Prison Break, 24, The Office, How I Met Your Mother, a lot of I don't know.
we have like Mary and I watch have several shows that we'll watch. So like So Help Me Todd, we watched that one. NCIS, what is it? NCIS. We were watching a bunch of the NCISs, but then we just went back to the original. So we
Kyle
don't watch the other.
watches. Kyle, is it Chicago PD
Yeah,
that you
yeah,
watch? I think they watch that one.
yeah. Um,
For a while there, I was into Blue Bloods.
oh yeah. It's the
But
last season, man.
yeah,
Last season.
I watched it and then I started like I watched a couple episodes live and then I went back and started watching like seasons one, two. I think I got into two halfway through or something, but never finished it. So if I were to go back, I would want to go back and watch it from the beginning again because I
So
feel like there were
why'd you
definitely
lose
gaps.
why'd you lose interest in it? What was it about it that didn't keep your
Honest,
attention?
Honestly, I couldn't even tell you. I enjoyed the show.
Yeah.
It probably wasn't even anything with the show. It was probably just I got busy doing other stuff, or I probably went back to The Office, to be honest with you, because I watched that show from start to finish. Like
Yeah.
I can confidently say 50 times, and that's no sarcasm or nothing. Like that's a legitimate um, a legitimate number. I would probably say I'm closer to 100.
Wow.
Um,
Wow.
so yeah, yeah, probably it was nothing with nothing against Blue Bloods. It was just probably just started watching other
It's
things.
interesting because I was that we were that way with like Hawaii Five O when it came back out. That was
Hmm.
one show that we used to watch all the time. It
Hawaii
was
Five
Hawaii
O.
Five O back in the day.
Okay, I didn't even know there
I
was a
remember
Hawaii
sitting
Five O
down.
back in the day.
I remember sitting down with my parents and watching Hawaiian Five O, and we would watch it on Saturday night, typically. I think it was Saturday night, and we would have popcorn and chocolate for dinner. Popcorn and Hershey chocolate bar. That would
That
be
goes
my dinner.
against all the rules.
Not in my house.
Hawaii Five O, 1968 television series.
That would have been so when it started. I was 6. So,
Wow.
but I remember watching it as a kid, man. I
Huh.
remember watching it. It was a good time.
I didn't know that was a
So,
thing.
yeah, it was. It was. And then uh but it's interesting because like you mentioned 24 and we started watching it and it just kind of I don't know, we've kind of lost interest in it, you know?
Oh,
I can't tell you why,
what
but
season did you get to? Because if you lost interest
uh
in it, I guarantee you didn't get to season four.
no, we I think we made it like 3 like halfway through 3. Halfway through 3.
Well, with that being said, I would encourage you to power through and get to four.
Okay. All
Yeah,
right.
it'll change your life. Probably
Wow.
not, but it's really good. Junior, what's up, man?
How you doing, Junior? You hobbling around, dude?
He's
So,
figuring it out.
and that was that. It's interesting because you think about the shows. Like I said, we have several shows that we watch, um, but there are several that we were watching that we just kind of lost interest in, especially when all these stinking idiots went on strike,
Yeah,
you know, and nothing came out new for what, a year,
yeah.
year and a half, 2 years. It's crazy.
Well, that's
So,
kind of where I'm at right now with movies, to be honest with you. Like I was just talking to Jared about this the other day. There's a movie theater that I used to go to when I was in college out near King
yep,
of Prussia area called the Movie Tavern. You go, you order
yep,
dinner, they bring it out, you eat it, table folds out over you while you're watching the movie. It's a great thing.
yep,
I saw a lot of like some of my like some of the movies that I really, really, really wanted to see. Some of the Star Wars movies, Lord of the Rings movies, right? Those ones that I'm interested in. We saw those there, and we enjoyed it a lot.
right.
But we haven't been out there forever because there's just nothing to me. Like, there's not been anything that I'm like fired
Yeah.
up to see, and I'm not
Right.
gonna
Right.
waste the money. I mean, good lord, like just a movie ticket nowadays is $15, $20.
Yeah, yeah, it's crazy, man. I think we have started watching some of the like the you know who the Kendrick brothers are? Have you heard
Yeah.
of the Kendrick brothers?
Yep.
So we've started watching some of their movies. We've been
Okay.
to probably most of their movies we've seen in the theater, and they've been good. You know, they've
Excuse
been
me.
really good. So, but you're right. I mean, it's just crazy. I
There's
mean,
nothing really
you know,
out there anymore that's
no,
drawing a crowd. I
no,
mean, like the Marvel movies have died out. Lord of
yeah,
the Rings and The Hobbit is done. Star Wars
yeah.
is done. Harry Potter's done, right? Like, I mean, those are like the big ones from my lifetime. Like, they're all
Is
done.
there
So
is there any series, sequels, whatever you want to call them, out there right now? I mean, is there anything out there?
maybe
Nothing that
nothing
I can
nothing
think
that's
of.
bringing me out. Honestly. So when we are talking about sequels earlier, the one was this was the last movie I saw in theaters, and I would say this to me was one that got as close to the original. I don't think it's better than the original, but as close to the original as I have ever seen, and it was
Yeah.
Top Gun 2, Top
Oh,
Gun
dude,
Maverick. That movie
that
was
was
great,
that that
great
was a
movie.
great movie. We
Um,
actually saw that. You know, it was funny because we saw that in Hawaii is where we saw that
oh
movie
wow,
in a theater in Hawaii.
okay,
So
that's cool.
that was a great movie. So I just Googled current sequels. Like they have Scream, Beetlejuice 2, Indiana Jones 5, Doctor Strange, Black Panther Wakanda, Avatar The Way of Water,
Yeah,
Jurassic World Dominion,
yeah,
Fantastic Beasts
mm,
3, Constantine 2. Never heard of I mean, I've heard of the movies,
yeah.
but
I don't
I'm
have
like this
nothing.
is
Nothing's
crazy.
pulling me. Like I might watch some of those when they come out on Amazon Prime Video, and I pay $1.99 to rent it for 48 hours. But I'm not.
Dude, I'm
I'm
not
not
even
going and
renting it.
I'm not going and
Uh,
paying 40
yeah.
bucks for me and my wife to go see. Like I don't have a desire to do that. There's nothing that's
Well,
drawing me to those.
and you think about it, I mean, some of these movies, the originals came out like when I was young.
Well,
You
I
know,
mean,
Indiana Jones 5, give me a
yeah,
break.
well, so we're talking about. I mean, Indiana Jones. You just mentioned. You mentioned Jurassic Park. I mean, I know it's
Yeah,
Jurassic World. It's different, but it's not
the
like
same.
they're
Yeah.
still like I said. It's just some of those things where they're just trying to like continue to pull from momentum that the
Yeah.
original movies had, and it's like, yeah,
Dude,
it's time to move on. It's time to move on. The T Rexes are
legally
dead.
Legally Blonde 3.
Ugh,
I'm like, how long ago did Legally Blonde come out?
that should have
I mean,
died
it's
with one.
Deadpool 3, The Expendables, well, Expendables 4. So,
Yeah.
it's crazy, dude. It is
Ugh.
just crazy. So,
Rocky
I don't get it.
37. Oh man.
Too funny.
Yep.
Too
Good
funny.
stuff. Good stuff. Yep. I'm gonna sit on that one. The sequel question that I posed. Like I said, the only one that I could think of off the top of my head was Top Gun. Top Gun
That
2 was
that
really really good.
that was a really
Um,
good movie.
honestly,
It,
if it
I,
if
and
it
I,
didn't carry, if the original didn't carry the weight that it did because of how long it had been and the like the nostalgia, right? Like, I
yeah,
mean, it had been
yeah.
so long, and that movie was so great, the original. If it didn't carry that weight, I mean, if Top Gun 2 was made like a year after Top Gun, Top Gun 2 might have been better. But for me, like,
So,
we waited so long for that, and the connection that it had to the original and all that. I mean, it
so
was
when did
great.
Top Gun? When did Top Gun Maverick come out? Was it 2022 or
22, I
three?
believe.
Was it 22?
22, yeah.
So the
And the
original
original
came
was
out in
80,
86,
87. Oh, 86.
86, 86. So that how what is that? 80. That's 30. That's uh, surely not 50
36
years,
years.
huh?
36.
No, it's longer than
96,
that,
oh
dude.
06, 16, and then 22. So 30, yeah, 36.
Really?
Yep.
Seems longer than that.
Well, I was
Even longer
born in
than that.
91, and so in 2022 I would have been
Oh, 2022.
31, and that was yeah, yeah,
Oh, you're right.
36.
36. No, my bad. My bad.
You gonna
But
question
it's
me, dude?
still,
I have an Excel spreadsheet for it.
dude. So how much do you think that Top Gun? Any idea how much it did originally? How in the box office? Take a guess.
Um, like back in the 80s?
Yeah.
Oh, dude, I have no idea. I'm gonna say 10 million. I don't know.
$357.3 million.
Jeez, in the 80s.
Yeah. Yeah. Isn't that crazy?
Do you know
Isn't
what
that
Top
crazy?
Gun Maverick did?
Well, let me look at it.
Let me spoil it for you. 1.5 billion
Are you
in
serious?
gross revenue. In
Oh
gross revenue.
my,
Top Gun Maverick becomes
that's crazy.
sixth highest. It passed Avengers Infinity War. So your top 10 are Star Wars The Force Awakens, which that is a joke and a half that made it that far. Avengers Endgame, Spider-Man No Way Home, Avatar the original, Black Panther, and then Top Gun Maverick um, is number 6 on the all-time list.
That's crazy, man. That's crazy.
But again,
So I was just
so they played on the emotions and they played on the the feels of all the old heads that were sitting on Tom
yeah,
Cruise and Top Gun and all that, and that they shot their shot and it worked. But that to
yeah,
me is probably the only time that I have ever seen
dude.
that happen to
So
that magnitude.
that is crazy. That is definitely crazy. So budget wise, yeah, any idea? So Top Gun to create Top Gun, 15 million back in 1986. All right, 15 million. Top Gun Maverick, 170 to 177 million to make.
Jeez. What'd you say the 87 movie was?
15 million.
Wow.
15 million.
Thanks, Biden. Just kidding. Didn't mean to get
Yeah,
political.
really. Well, but can you imagine that? I mean,
No,
back
that's
in 86,
crazy.
15 million in 80, we were looking at that thinking, how stupid is that? There's no
Yeah,
way that they're going to make that money back, but,
that's
obviously
wild.
that is wild.
Yeah.
That is amazing. Amazing.
Oh, Jared Huss just threw us a heart.
Did
Well,
he?
real quick, um while he's here, if he's still here. So Jared had not seen. Ready for this? Oh, Baldo, this is gonna make you so mad. This is gonna cook your chicken. You understand? Bet your freaking chickens.
You bet your sweet Bippy it will.
Bet your sweet bippy this is gonna cook your chicken. So Jared did not see Top Gun 1 until
What?
after he saw Top Gun 2.
Oh,
And
dude,
so
he is so freaking sheltered, man.
so
He's
so
such a
so
freaking
Jared
sheltered
has
child.
planted his flag and is willing to die on the hill that Top Gun 2 is better than Top Gun 1. And I
Wow.
and my again, my argument to that is exactly what I said before, right? If we were talking Top Gun 2 was made 1 year after Top Gun 1 and there was no gap and there was no we didn't sit on this story for literally my entire life, um, we might be able to have a conversation about that. But we're talking
Wow.
36 years in between. The
Yeah.
same guy that did 1 is doing 2, right?
Yeah.
And Jared said that there's no story or there's no action in Top Gun 1. I'm like, "Bro, what are you talking about?" Right? What are you
Well,
talking
look,
about?
but you have to look at the advances in technology, man. I
Oh,
mean, it's just
come on.
crazy,
Well, yeah,
you
okay,
know?
so sure, take a look at the advances, but let's rewind to 1986 and what they did in that movie
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
86.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
that's wild. The movie that they
It
put
is.
out there.
It
That's
is.
crazy. And Goose dies,
Uh,
and that just
yeah,
rips your heart out every
that's right.
time.
It does. That's right. It does. It doesn't matter if you've seen it once or a million
Nope.
times.
Every
Every time it
time you
happens.
know it's
Every
coming,
time.
and you're just like,
Yeah.
freaking heck, Goose is gonna
Yeah.
die again.
Isn't it kind of interesting too that they carry that over into the new one? That
And that,
whole
dude,
situation.
and that's what I mean. They literally couldn't have done it any better. They couldn't have done it
Right.
any better. It was so great.
Right.
And
It was.
and I'll
It was.
and like I said, that is the closest, that is the most successful sequel I have ever seen. I don't think there's another one close.
I would have to say though, Rocky comes pretty close. You
Rocky,
know,
mm,
Rocky. There's no special effects or anything like that in Rocky. So, but it's just the storyline. You
yeah,
know, Thug makes good.
I know.
So
There's
and
like
then loses it
38 of
all.
those movies, so I mean they were bound to strike on one of
Yeah.
them.
Hey, Drago was my favorite. Drago.
Yeah.
So
Oh man. All
he's
right.
funny.
Well, we're a couple minutes past an hour.
Yeah.
About 40. So, um, if anybody's here that wasn't here, we'll just do a real quick recap. There is a third bet live with Stu and Baldo, and the saga of Scotty Chef.
I got a pretty good shot at this one though. I mean, this is
You are
50%.
1 and 2.
The,
Yeah.
the last two I didn't really have a good shot.
No,
I just
because
kind of
Scotty Scheffler is Scotty Scheffler. So
yes, that
Baldo
is
is
true.
team boy. I'm sitting on team girl. Scotty Chef is a definite girl dad.
I don't
And
know. As
if
long as he got
Scotty
his putter in the right spot, he's good.
if Scotty Chef if his baby is a girl, Baldo will be eating an onion and butter sandwich. If Scotty Chef's baby is a boy, I will be eating a Twinkie,
Ho ho.
a
You had it
ho
right the
ho
first time.
wrapped
Ho
in
ho
American cheese.
ho ho. Yeah.
So,
Actually, you're going to be eating two of them because that's what's in the package.
ugh. Do I get to pick the American cheese?
What? What do you mean? What?
So,
What?
I mean, they have like those fake American, like the Kraft Singles American cheese, or can I get like some deli, like some good American cheese?
I don't care. I
Okay,
mean, dude,
perfect.
that's
I'm gonna get some good old Cooper's American cheese.
oh my word. You're gonna make this a gourmet
Yeah,
ho ho and cheese.
yeah. I'll cut it with a fork and a knife, and it's gonna be great. But anyway, that's what's
Oh my
live.
goodness.
For those of you who are here, or have been here tonight, Kyle, Grammy, Karen, Junior. Not sure if there was anybody else in here tonight, but we appreciate you guys. Appreciate you for sticking around, joining in conversation. It makes it fun, makes what we do here worth it here at JSNB Talk. We are back. We'll be back next Thursday at 8 p.m. Hopefully with.
Is is Jared here?
I don't know if Jared's still in the chat. Jared should be here next Thursday. Tonight is a
Okay.
scheduled day for him, so he should be off next Thursday. So we could have Jared and Stu and Nick and Baldo. We could have all four of us. Who knows if Scotty Chef has their baby? Baldo's definitely coming back because he's going to be eating something else.
So
So
when is she due? Do you know? Do you have any
no
idea when
idea.
she's due?
Yep, no
Oh
idea.
man, come on.
Yep.
Lord have mercy.
Just hit the Goog. The Goog will tell you.
The goog.
Hit the
All
Goog.
right. All
Um,
right.
but with that being said, we're going to sign off for the evening. So thank you guys very much. Like I said, we will be back next Thursday at 8 p.m. Have a great night.
Later.
Later.